Hi guys, it's Kathy. I hope you're doing well. Thank you to everybody who came out last night. It was very inappropriate is what it was. Outstandingly inappropriate is what last night's live stream was. But I did warn you. I did. You and I got hit with it at the same time though, because I had no idea. I knew it was going to be bad, but I didn't know it was going to be that bad. Whew. It's fine. So today we're going the opposite direction. We're not even going to criminal court. We're going to civil court with Judge Frost, who I love. And it's okay. We're going to watch the testimony between a consumer and a business. Then we're going to listen to Judge Frost at the end. Oh my gosh. Oh, Brent, it was definitely rated R, definitely worse than rated R. Right, Michael? And then there was the side conversations that we got that were inappropriate for chat, so people would send me what they really think. That was so much better. I wish we could just say what we want to in chat, but I would be canceled, and I would be canceled so fast last night if I could have said everything I wanted to say. But actually, chat did a good job last night handling it all. We're gonna calm it down for today, though. Okay. It was pretty. I would say it was a little worse than R-rated. Like the FCC ain't got nothing on me. That's right. I'm gonna get the trial. I'm going to get the trial, and we can hear it all over again. He didn't get in trouble. Y'all should be deleting me when I'm making fun of myself. You should be deleting me. Some troll comes in here. Actually, I don't mind when trolls come in here and say bad stuff about me. You really don't have to delete those messages at all. You just don't. Sometimes I do, but most of the time I just let them go. Right? All right. So look, we're never going to get through this if we don't get through it. So we're going to listen to testimony. Judge Frost is the star of this show. Wait till you hear how he handles it. Here we go.
Good morning, Ms. Burley. Can you see me okay?
I can. Can you see me?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Attorney Rush, how about you?
Yep, I can see you. Can you hear me?
I can, yes. And remind me, which one of your clients is the representative for Revamp?
It should be Russ Snyder.
All right.
So we'll have Russ Snyder, Johnny Shank, and then Kyle Messer should all be appearing here.
There is a Johnny and a Kyle in there. If they're just witnesses, though, I'll leave them in there to be called. Ms. Burley, we're getting a ton of background noise. Can you mute until you need to talk, please?
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Thank you. Mr. Snyder, can you see and hear us okay today?
Yes, I can.
All right, let's get started. This is 25 CV 1125 Revamp Fence Deck versus Lisa Spurley et al. For the appearances today, who do I have for Revamp?
Attorney Noah Roosh appearing on behalf of Revamp Fence.
She does give off boss monster care and energy, doesn't she? Which I'm sure that she did in real life to this company. But she doesn't get too cariny. She a little bit, but not a lot.
Deck, and then Russ Snyder appearing as its representative.
Thank you. And then I separately have Lisa Spurley appearing for the defendants.
Correct.
But in video, representing herself still, and her husband. And we are on Zoom today. I've confirmed we can all see and hear each other, and we're live streaming since we're on Zoom today. And we're here for the continued trial after our first day and me granting a motion to amend at the end of that. So we're ready to go with the rest of the case today. Attorney Rush, who do you want to call first?
And I guess as a matter of procedure, I suppose if this is Ms. Spurl's claim, would she go first and make her claim?
I could ask if she has any additional evidence.
Okay.
I granted the motion based on the evidence already presented. Ms. Spurley, do you have other evidence you'd like to present first today?
No, you have everything that I have.
Okay. All right. Who would you like to call, counsel?
Then I'd like to call Mr. Johnny Shank, please.
I'll bring him in. Good morning, Mr. Shank. Are you there? Mr. Shank, are you able to see and hear us?
Yes.
All right, good. Could you raise your right hand, please, and I'll put you under oath. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
So he loses connection a couple times where he can't hear anybody in the courtroom. And, you know, he logs off and logs back on. So I mostly cut all of that out. So if you see him, like, if you see it cut and then he's different, that's why.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Go ahead, Attorney Rush.
Thank you, Your Honor. No, Johnny, could you, Mr. Shank, could you please state your name for the record?
Yes, the name is Jonathan Shank.
Can you spell your last name too?
You bet. It's Schenk.
Thank you. Now, what is your occupation?
I am a outside sales rep for Revamp.
And how long have you been a sales rep for Revamp?
I would say well over 2 years, maybe 2 years to 2.5 years.
Okay. And how many decks or products have you sold for Revamp?
I would say hundreds. I don't have the exact number, but at least a few hundred or more, I would imagine.
Okay. And do you only sell their decks or do you sell other products as well?
No, we sell decks and we do porches, railing, and fences.
Okay. And when you say you've sold hundreds, is that a combination of all of those items or just the decks alone?
I would say it would be a combination of all of the items.
Okay. Now, when you do you have a when you what is your process for selling a deck to a customer? Where do you start?
Okay. Well, first thing we do is we go outside and we look at what the customer is trying to do, and then I basically draw it up, put it together, and then I come in the house with my sample pieces, my tablet, and everything I need to do the demo. And then we basically just go over a company history. Then we get into product details, and then answer any questions they may have, obviously through the process. And then we try to button it up with either a sale while I'm there, or we just send the contract over for you to look at for a few days and make your decision.
Okay. And do you recall specifically your conversation with Miss Sparrow?
No, I do not.
Okay, but when you go to a customer's house, do you generally do the same thing every time?
Yes.
Okay. And why is that?
Just because it's just a routine, it's a process, it's the Revamp way.
Okay. So when a customer asks you questions about the materials that are going to be used for the product, what do you tell them? If they, let's say they ask about the quality of the material used for the deck, what would you tell that customer?
Okay, so I would tell them, well, there's different variations of composite. So basically what I tell them is that because our composite is made out of cellular PVC, that it's never going to bubble, crack, or peel. It does come with a lifetime warranty, and it can withstand temperatures up to 600 degrees before it would melt.
Okay. And when you say that it's never going to bubble, crack, or peel, do you ever include that the deck will never scratch?
Unless it gets brought up, I usually don't. I usually just don't just say out of nowhere, "Hey, this deck is never going to scratch," right?
Okay.
But if it does get brought up in conversation, I mean, it's plastic. Of course, it's going to scratch. So
Okay. So, and to kind of go off of that, if a customer asked you, asked you whether the deck would scratch if they have a dog, what would you tell that customer?
well, I would tell the customer, like, "Hey, it's plastic, so obviously it's going to scratch. I mean, there's no plastic that would not scratch." So usually what I tell them, it's kind of the trade-off of going with the maintenance-free versus the wood, okay? And that you probably shouldn't let your dogs live on the deck because of it, but it is the trade-off, and it's something that it doesn't matter if you bought from us or you bought from another company, that stuff will always be able to scratch just because at the end of the day, it's a plastic.
Mm-hmm. And when you say maintenance free, what do you mean by that?
So basically what I mean is that it's not going to rot. It's not going to rust. You don't have to stain it every year. Insects cannot eat through it, stuff of that nature.
Mm-hmm. And is that standard language from the manufacturer of the boards or the composite?
Yes, it is. Correct. Yes.
Okay. Now, after your initial conversation with Miss Spurl about the deck, do you prepare any other documents related to the sale?
Absolutely, yeah. So what we do is we come up with basically what we want to get into. We make all the changes we need to make, and then what we do is we create a contract. Most of the time, it's done in-house. And then what I do is I go over the contract with them, answer any questions they may have, and then sometimes they'll sign right away, or they'll say, "Hey, I need to talk to my husband," and we'll let you know. And then I just leave the contract behind for them.
Okay, so I am going to show you what is marked here as Exhibit 1 with the cord. Here. Okay, and can you see this? Can you see this document that is marked as Exhibit 1?
Yes.
Okay, and then do you recognize what this is?
So we don't see this exact version of it, but yeah, that looks like our contract, sir.
Okay, and I'm just gonna scroll through it here so you can see the rest of it. It's page 3, page 4, page 5, page 6, page 7, and page 8 here at the end. Okay, and does that look like the entire contract that you would have prepared for Ms. Spurl?
Okay, now I lost the screen where you're sharing it, and I'm trying to find it again. So where would it be? Right now, I just see everybody's picture right now. So, and
Sure,
everybody's
so
looking good, but.
Sure. So if you bring up, it should be on my name. It should be shared.
Okay, I just click on you. Okay, there we go. Yep, I can see it. Yep. So this I'm very familiar with because this is our contract.
Okay. And then here I'm going to go to the end of the contract. This is on page 8. There is a dark blue or black box on the top right hand side, and it says it reads August 7, 2024, and then contract number 19 19868. Do you see that?
Yes.
And it's prepared for Lisa Spurl on the left-hand side over there.
Correct.
Okay. And then is that your name in the dark box on the right?
Yes, that is.
Okay. And then in the summary of the contract, could you read what that says?
Yeah, I can try to zoom in here. Preparation and scope of work. Inspect the area that is going to be installed. Accurately measure the area of the project to be installed. Manufacture and fabricate the custom-made vinyl or PVC part list per the customer contract specifications. Furnish and install the vinyl outlet / revamp deck and or railing project per contract specifications.
And does that accurately reflect what you and Miss Spurl would have talked about doing, or you would have talked about revamp decks involvement in her project would be?
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
I don't know why I can barely hear you now.
Okay.
Awesome. Perfect.
Okay, there we go. Then I think we are good to start back up here then. Yeah, sorry. Are we back on the record?
Yes, we're back on the record now. We have Mr. Shank back and confirmed that he can see and hear again.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Shank. I am scrolled here to page 4 of the contract that you prepared for Ms. Spurl. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay. And I just want to direct your attention to a spot about 3/4 of the way down the page where it says warranty. Do you see that?
Yes.
And then could you read the warranty language in the contract for me, please?
I can now. Every time I zoom into this, it boots me out. So I'm just warning you now that I'm going to zoom in and try to read this.
1 second then. Counsel, why don't you read him the language and ask if that matches his recollection?
Sure. So, Johnny, the warranty of the project, residential limited lifetime warranty, the vinyl outlet revamp deck and railing systems warrants that they're rigid vinyl extrusions to be the finest quality available. The deck extrusions will not blister, chip, corrode, peel, rot, or suffer termite damage when used in accordance with VECA deck installation care and maintenance instructions. Does that warranty information reflect what you recall?
Yes.
Okay. And does that reflect what you would have told Ms. Spurl about the deck?
Yes.
Does that warranty anywhere include that the deck will not scratch?
No, of course not.
If Ms. Spurl had asked for any additional guarantees or asked for any additional items on the contract, where would those be noted?
I would, if you scroll up, I would put them under notes. So like specifics, like, don't, make sure you don't park in the driveway or whatever the specifics are. I would always put them in the notes.
Okay. And if there are no other notes here, would there wouldn't be any additional information or additional representations that you made to Ms. Spurl that are outside of this contract?
That is 100% correct. Yep.
Okay. And then just generally, has Revamp ever told you that you should tell customers that the deck doesn't scratch?
No.
Okay. Have you ever told a customer that a deck wouldn't scratch?
No.
Have you ever told customers scenarios where the deck would scratch?
If they brought it up and asked questions, I would always do my best to answer their questions correctly. So, yes.
Okay. And have you, how many times in the past have you had a customer bring up complaints about a deck that you sold them scratching?
Not once.
Okay. So is this the first time that you've had a customer come back complaining that the deck it has scratched?
Yes.
Okay. I have no further questions for Johnny.
Okay. Ms. Burley, do you have any questions?
I do.
All right.
So, Johnny, do you recall speaking to us at our house?
I don't recall speaking to you specifically because I do hundreds of estimates. So, and this was like, I think like a year and a half ago.
Yes, it was. So you were in our house for a pretty significant period of time that afternoon. You saw our 3 dogs. I brought up our 3 dogs, and I said that we had 4 boys. And you said normal wear and tear.
Your Honor, I would, this is...
Shut up, attorney. I just spent the last, I don't know how many minutes trying to get a ceiling fan behind my frickin' head, and it would not show up no matter what I did. Finally, I just gave up. I said, that's it, I give up. And boom, it covered the whole screen. I hate Opie. I'm sorry I'm talking. She hates when I talk. You think she'd be used to it by now, right?
I think the witnesses testify. I object to the question here. There isn't really a question.
Oh,
Okay, sorry.
A witness can offer hypothetical or actual facts and ask if the person agrees or disagrees with it. So as long as you're soon getting to a question, Ms. Burley, I'm okay with it.
Okay.
If you're just trying to testify, then that's a problem.
Oh, no, I'm trying to dig. Okay.
So I do have a friend from Australia, Bren. For the life of me, I cannot remember her name at all. Okay? So we met for the first time. Shit. I think it was in Las Vegas, right? And oh, it was so funny. She was telling all of us Americans a story about her deck. And if you guys have never heard an Australian say deck before, when they tell you a story about their deck, you have to really lock in and translate that because they don't say deck at all. It's X-rated. Her whole story was X-rated, and it was hilarious. Oh my God, I wish I could remember her name. It's coming to me. She lives in Chicago now. She moved from Australia to Chicago. And she's not happy in America at all. She wants to go back so badly.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
So, Johnny, you were aware that I had said we had 4 boys and 3 dogs, and scratching, regular wear and tear was not going to be an issue. I asked several.
You have all of those dogs, ma'am. You know what they do to things. You know, you're like, okay, you guys remember, this is like the 80s again. Do you guys remember in the 80s? We were lied to, by the way. They told us that a woman was driving out of McDonald's with a cup of coffee between her legs, and some spilled on her, so she sued McDonald's and got millions of dollars, okay? That's what we believed in the 80s. We believed that this woman had a frivolous lawsuit against McDonald's and won millions, and we were like, duh, coffee is hot. That's your fault for putting it in between your legs. That's a stupid place to put coffee. When in reality, a 79-year-old passenger of a car that was not moving was trying to put cream and sugar in her coffee. So she put it between her legs so she could open the creamer, and the lid came off and it spilled, and she had like 4th-degree burns, and she was in the hospital for a very long time. And she absolutely did not get millions. First, all she wanted McDonald's to do was pay for her medical bills, which was like $20,000. And they gave her $800. So she said, okay, bet. Turn the book over. Do you guys have the lawyers around here? Turn the book over. The yellow pages. The phone books used to have the lawyers on the back. So she called a lawyer. They sued. And she won like, I don't know. For the suit, she won like, I wish I could remember. It was like $200,000. But then punitive damages were like, I don't know, $1,200 or $1 million. I mean, $1,200,000 or $1 million or something like that. And the judge said, okay, bet, but it was 20% your fault for putting hot coffee between your legs, because that's just stupid. So he bumped it down to like $800,000. But then McDonald's didn't pay, and the judge did something sneaky, something behind the scenes, so we never knew what it was, so we never knew exactly how much she got for that coffee. But how we were believing it was that an old lady was driving with coffee between her legs and hit a bump and it spilled on her, and then she got mad and she sued them, which is just not what happened. She was disfigured for the rest of her life. So this lady has X amount of dogs, more than one, multiple dogs. And it's not like this was the first day. She didn't just wake up today and say, oh my God, I have all these frickin' dogs. No. She's had them for a while. Anybody who's had a dog for more than 8 hours knows what dogs can do with anything. They know the type of material you can have near a dog and what you cannot have near a dog. They know. She knew. Yeah, and the company did too. Yeah, I get it. The company did too. But let your fingers do the walking. See, he knows. Yeah, she did not get millions. It was propaganda. It's like when a British man looks around and takes a propaganda. Sorry, that was stupid. I know. Well, yeah, and Eileen, would you let them run all over, a painting? Because they're going to rip it with their claws. Yes, dogs have claws. They do. They rip everything. Ask Donald how his freaking pillows are. So, all right. I need to get back to work. Story time's over.
Times, and you repeatedly said no, that regular wear and tear would not harm the duck. I was very adamant about scratching.
You're going on a little too much without asking a question.
Okay.
So let's try to get to the point of Mr. Shank. Do you recall her mentioning her 4 boys and 3 dogs being on the deck a lot?
I don't recall my specific interaction of her personal life or anything. I don't recall any of that because at the time it was just another estimate I was going to. So I don't remember her talking about her kids and dogs or anything like that personally. No.
Okay, ma'am. If you want to pose the next section again and ask a question, you can.
So when asked, regular wear and tear and with dogs and kids, why would you not say there could be some deep scratches involved?
Okay, I just went on about she knows what dogs can do. She already knows this. The woman has kids. She has children. Come on, you can't have anything nice when you have children. You can't. Nothing nice. You go and you buy the cheapest possible thing you can buy because that's going to get destroyed. Name one thing you guys were able to keep in your house that was not destroyed because of those damn little munchkins. One thing. They take everything you love and they destroy it.
That's the question you're asking me, then?
Yes.
That's right. Okay. So I did tell you, just like I tell everybody else, that it's plastic. Of course, it can scratch. I mean, there's no way that it wouldn't be able to scratch. But and then usually what I follow up with is it's the trade-off of going with the maintenance free. Okay, so you don't have, it's not going to bubble, crack, or peel. I can see somehow that could confuse a customer when I say bubble, crack, and peel. Maybe they thought I said scratch, but I've never told anybody since I started here that that plastic wouldn't scratch. And if that was the case, I would have been in court a long time ago. And that's your answer.
Well, you never said that it was plastic. You always referred to it as PCA or PCV vinyl. Vinyl is so much different to me than plastic. Plastic was never brought up in our conversation. I thought I was buying vinyl.
Ma'am, it sounds like you're arguing. So what you should be saying is,
Okay.
Sir, isn't it correct that you would have not referred to it as plastic, but as PVC vinyl?
Okay.
That's the question, sir. Can you answer it?
Johnny,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to answer that question. So whether I refer to it as plastic or PVC, it's always going to have the same results. That I'm never going to promise that it would never
Sir,
scratch.
you're not answering the question.
Okay.
Is it accurate that you would have referred to it as PVC vinyl as not plastic?
I most likely would have referred to it as plastic. I have referred to it as PVC as well, answering that same question.
Your Honor, I'm not sure if you hear that as well, but
Yeah, Miss Burley, there's just so much noise coming from you. It's hard to hear anything.
Okay, I will try and move.
Guys, can we all do something for CJ today? Can you guys all just eat a bunch of cheese? Just eat cheese today. Just try to eat something cheesy. There's grilled cheese, there's macaroni and cheese, there's toast and cheese. Toast with cheese? I don't know what you call it. I don't know what you call it. Yes, PVC is plastic. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. That is not... Oh my God, I thought it was metal. Yeah, but for CJ, we gotta eat some cheese today because, you know, maybe it won't make her feel better, but maybe it will make her feel better.
Is this better?
Oh, let's give it a shot and see if it is.
Is there
Okay.
people talking in that room?
Sorry, I'm just at work and had to
For
leave
sure, I understand.
Sorry.
Sir, I can't recall if you answered it because it was kind of hard to hear.
Okay. Go ahead and ask me the question again then, and I'll answer it.
Do you agree that you would have called this PVC or vinyl or PVC vinyl? Not.
Do not give CJ cheese. What the heck is wrong with you people? Eat cheese because she cannot. We have to take one for the team. Just like Brad will not have a drink today, so I'm gonna have to do it for him. Donald will not eat an egg today, so guess what? Cheesy eggs is in my future.
Plastic.
I would have called it either one of those two because I used both of those references when I'm at the house. So I don't remember exactly talking to her, if I said, hey, it's PVC, of course it's going to scratch. Or if I said it's plastic, of course it's going to scratch. But it was one or the other for this particular customer.
Go ahead, ma'am.
My other question is if Revamp has a lifetime warranty. No, I'm dropping that. That's okay.
Okay.
I do have a few questions though is it Russ?
Okay,
At some
so,
point.
ma'am, do you have any more questions for this witness?
I guess, Johnny, would it be better for you to be upfront as a Revamp employee to clarify that vinyl and plastic are kind of interchangeable?
Object, this calls for speculation.
No, I don't.
He sold me ice cubes and they melted and then everything got wet. If I knew it was water, I never would have bought it. Never. Never, Judge.
I think it does. Overruled. Go ahead and answer.
Give me the question again.
As a Revamp employee, wouldn't it behoove you to really explain to the customer that vinyl, PVC vinyl and plastic are interchangeable in your words?
So yeah, I go over all of the details to answer any questions that they may have. When we get to product specifics, a lot of times I'll send the customers right over to the VECA website so they can dig even deeper into the material itself.
I still had just yellow pages just a couple years ago. Probably within the last 5 years, I had yellow pages in the house. I don't now, they stopped. But yeah, I always at least got the yellow pages.
Okay. We live out in the country and we were having our internet was up and down that night and we were unable to get on that site. You did show us a composite piece you had, but it was always vinyl.
Right, and then I also show everybody that they do scratch because the sample pieces I've had them since I started here, and I show you guys the samples themselves, and you can see scratches on them. So it's obvious that the boards scratch if you can physically see them right in front of you.
Well, you would say that, wear and tear of selling for a couple of years, having in your bag, traveling with them day in, day out. Yes, I can see that. However, the scratches that happened on our deck were like within 72 hours after the deck was installed by a dog and by just chairs being on the deck. And that, when I asked you, did I not? Again, with kids and dogs, our scratch is going to be very observant. And you said no, not with regular wear and tear.
That's not
So
what I
I'm
said.
asking why you say that to customers when they repeatedly asked.
I didn't say that to you, and I don't say that to customers.
How do you know you did not say that to me when you can't
Because
even
I know,
recall?
because I go through the same routine with everybody I talk to, and like I said, you yourself, I just feel like you've been a problem since the beginning, right? So it's not just this. There's a lot of stuff, and it just seems like you're trying to get a free deck out of this. And
Sir, what does that mean? What do you
No,
mean she's been a
what I
problem?
mean is that she was never trying to pay for her deck in the first place, and there's complaint after complaint. We've had a lot of situations with her where she's been trying to get out of paying for the deck, and so
And how did you learn about that?
I learned about this recently about the whole court thing. So I didn't even know anything about this at all until recently when I found out about the fact that we're going to be going to court and all that kind of stuff.
I'm sorry, when you interacted with her, were there any problems you were aware of?
No, not at all.
So until very recently in the last couple months, you were unaware of any problems?
Correct.
Okay. All right. And did anyone tell you ahead of today's hearing that she's alleging scratching is a big problem?
Yes.
Who told you that?
So I've talked to obviously upper management and I talked to Russ after the first court appearance, or I should say the last one. I believe that most of her complaints went right to management, and they were dealing with it. And I'm assuming they didn't bring it to my attention because.
Did they show you any of the documents or anything like that?
Any of the court documents?
Or her complaints or communications or whatever?
I haven't really seen too many documents or anything. Like I just knew that there was a customer saying that I told her that her deck would never scratch, which is false, and that's the only thing that I really know out of this. But then I heard about other issues and stuff that she was having or complaining about, and that we've, there's just multiple occasions of stuff going on.
Okay.
You just said that you were not aware of anything about this up until a couple days ago, but then you
not
said
a couple days ago. I mean, I knew about this.
Well, that is exactly what you said, and then you said.
Okay, Mr. Shank, wait for the full question before you answer. So, Ms. Burley, finish your question.
Okay.
And Mr. Shank, you said that you did not know anything up until a couple days ago, but you just stated a few seconds ago that you knew everything after our first court date. So,
Ma'am, you just stated that you didn't know kids and dogs were going to scratch your stuff. Ma'am, okay, I'm not trying to be biased here. I'm not. Because you do spend a lot of money on a deck. But what she's saying to me does not make sense to me. And what he's saying to me does not make sense to me. Neither of these people are smart. This is a collision that could have been avoided if one of them just would have.
well, I'm a little confused. Which is it?
I knew that you were taking us to court just because I got filled in on it because I'm the sales representative. So, but as far as remembering you personally, I don't remember you personally. So.
Okay, that's not what I asked. You just stated that you were
okay,
not.
Ma'am, that's okay. Let's move on to the next question.
Okay.
Mr. Shank, when you were hired or at any point during your employment, were you ever told anything about how to answer if a customer asks about scratching on a composite deck?
Really, the only thing I would say that most of the stuff we went over in training was obviously, company history, of course, the material and all that. And we're pretty much told to inform the customer that, it's pretty much the trade-off of, going from the wood to the PVC, right? So it will scratch. That's
tell me, were you ever instructed anything about scratching? You keep saying basically or sort of, or what were you instructed?
Yeah, so we were told that the deck would scratch, and most likely you're not going to want dogs to live on the deck, right? I mean, obviously they can pass.
My son, I don't know if you guys remember. I doubt you remember. But when my son was 17, he's 22 now. He was still in college. I mean, he was still in high school. And his girlfriend moved in here. And I let her move in here because she wanted him to get an apartment with her. He was just about to turn 18. There was no way I could have stopped them. And, you know, he wanted to go to college. He got scholarships for esports and everything. So I let her move in here with her cat. Her cat scratched chunks out of my drywall in multiple rooms. I had to patch that drywall up. Pain. It was a pain because it was on all corners. Like the corner of the walls and everything, that's the cat just scratched the drywall to pieces.
Pass through, and there's no way around it. The decks will scratch. But once again, you know, you have to deal with that, or you have to deal with stain in the deck rotting, insects eating through it, and you know, all that stuff too. So it's the trade-off of going maintenance free. You know, there's no way that we would be able to sell.
Well, doesn't wood scratch as well?
I would imagine wood would scratch as well. Yeah.
So what do you mean by the trade-off? I don't understand.
Well, it's the trade-off of going maintenance free, meaning you really don't have to do much to the deck. You don't have to stain it. It's not going to rot. Insects are not going to eat through it. So it's kind of the trade-off. Like, you know, you can't buy plastic or PVC and expect that it would never scratch, because that's just not humanly possible. So
I guess I'm still not following. What's the trade-off, though? What's better about wood that you're trading to get the non-maintenance?
Oh, well, you said, personally, I think going with the PVC is going to be the better route than going with the wood. And a lot of customers agree with that. It's also more expensive than buying into a wood deck. So I think there's a lot of the trade-off is, you know, wood itself is, you know, very commonly used and it rots out. Okay, so this will scratch, but it's not going to rot out, is what I mean by that.
Miss Burley, any other questions?
Wood. I hate it.
Yeah, one more. You said over and over that afternoon that you were at our house that it was virtually maintenance free, better than wood. You were really pushing that this would be the best way to go with dogs and kids, because again, that was my
So,
main
ma'am,
concern.
stop right there and say, let's see.
So,
Ma'am, stop right there. Mr. Shank, does that sound like something you would have said?
No.
If somebody said, I have dogs and young children that are going to beat up this deck, what would you recommend to that customer?
Well, I would recommend that they keep the dogs and the kids off the deck as much as possible, due to the fact that it can scratch.
so you're telling me that we have a deck that can't be used because every time you step foot on the deck, it scratches. Furniture on the deck, chairs on the deck, everything will scratch the deck. That is what you're saying, correct?
With enough pressure applied, yes, anything can scratch the deck.
Sir, what would you say if somebody asked, what's going to happen on this kind of deck if I use normal patio furniture?
I would pretty much tell them it's fine to use normal patio furniture on the deck. If once again, if you're concerned about scratching, then you might want to lay something down before you put the furniture on there.
Okay. Miss Burley, any other questions?
No.
Any redirect, Attorney Rush?
Yeah, I would just have a few questions here. So, Mr. Shank, we were talking about normal patio furniture. What is it? What is normal patio furniture to you?
It's like plastic table, plastic chairs, maybe a table, maybe a plant.
Okay, so nothing metal is
Right.
normal to you.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
no metal outside furniture. All right, whatever.
if a customer said that they had metal furniture, right? Like let's say their chairs had metal legs, what would you tell that customer?
I would tell them they will definitely might want to invest in getting some plastic because the metal will scratch.
Okay. We also had some discussion about normal wear and tear. What does normal wear and tear mean to you?
Oh yeah, normal wear and tear. So basically what that means is that, it's going to go through normal wear and tear. So it'll weatherize just like the vinyl outside on your house. But the main thing is that the reason why I say it's virtually maintenance free is because it is never going to bubble, crack, or peel or rot.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a few examples. So let's say a customer tells you that they have a dog, right? And if that dog is walking on the patio, will the dog cause deep scratches? Is it likely that the dog will cause deep scratches? Okay.
Yes, it is likely that the dog would cause deep scratches if they were walking on the patio or deck. Correct.
Okay. Is it likely that a person who is walking on the deck, let's say they're going from the patio door to the deck stairs with their shoes on, is that going to cause deep scratches?
No.
If somebody had a plastic patio furniture and they moved a chair back and forth like they were going to go sit down at the patio table, would that cause a deep scratch in the deck?
No.
If someone had a metal chair and they moved that chair back and forth to sit at the patio table, could that cause deep scratches?
It could, yes.
Okay, and if a customer told you that they had a metal patio chair, would you tell them that it could cause deep scratches?
I'm going back through my life and thinking everything I've done on patio chairs in my lifetime, standing and jumping and falling, and I owe a lot of people decks, guys. we need to start me a GoFundMe because I think I need to buy a whole bunch of decks for people. They were metal.
Yes. And I would recommend that they probably get a plastic set out there.
Okay.
I have a few questions if I could.
Well, let's wait and see. Attorney Rush,
Okay.
are you even done?
Yes, I think I am done.
Oh, okay. Ms. Burley, if you have a few follow-up just on those questions, I would
do.
allow that.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Shank, you were well aware that we had a wrought iron patio set. It was sitting right outside where the deck was going to be placed. Knowing that was going up there. Also, so you never said anything. I never even thought to ask if this was an okay piece of furniture to have on there. Why would you not say anything?
First of all, it's not my job to decorate your patio or decide what you're going to end up putting on your new deck. I mean, there's a lot of customers that replace their patio furniture once they get their new deck when they make an investment like that. So I had no idea what you plan to do or put on top of the new deck.
I guess another question is that how many people do you really know have plastic patio furniture. All patio furnitures are wrought iron. Plastic patio furniture is just going to blow away, especially in the country. So that would not be beneficial in our spot. So why would you even suggest that to a client?
I would suggest that to a client because I know that it's not going to deeply scratch up the patio or the deck. And we run into the plastic patio furniture all the time.
For the reporter, could you repeat that, please?
Sir, could you repeat your answer? It got garbled for some reason.
Oh, so for some reason I cannot hear you guys again. I'm going to have to leave out and come back in because that's what worked last time. So give me a second.
Okay.
Please.
Trampolines blow away. Yes, they do.
Oh, it is nice out here, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Woo.
I do apologize for the delay on this. I did work with Mr. Shank before this, and I'd hoped that we had worked out the issues.
That's Zoom. That's
Okay.
the only.
Who else thinks that his smirk is very, very eerily similar to yesterday's stream smirk? The smirk in yesterday's stream. That's it, isn't it? That is the same smirk, isn't it? I'm scared. I'm a little terrified right now.
Drawback of its convenience.
Mm-hmm.
Her deck, she does.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Shank. Is it working again?
Because of that, she can tell you what deep scratches mean.
Mute. You guys hear me?
It's pretty rough. Counsel, is it possible for you to reach out and just share with him the phone number and the meeting
Yeah, a
ID and
little bit,
passcode? He could just
TJ.
call in.
Yes.
Sure, I will do that.
Tiny bit.
Maybe that'll work better.
Okay. Then Johnny,
All
I do
right.
see you joined back in here, but I also
All
sent
right.
you an email with the phone number to call back in on
Okay.
if
We
that-
can try this, and then if it fails again, maybe try calling in without video.
Okay, yeah, I just got the email, so I have that.
Okay. Miss Purley, did you want to go ahead? Or I'm sorry, you were giving an answer, it got garbled. We all probably have forgotten the question. So, Hannah, could you remind us what the question was?
Yep, just give me one moment. I have to scroll up a little bit. Okay, so the last question was, let's see here. Plastic patio furniture is going to blow away, especially, so that would not be beneficial in our spot. So why would you even suggest that to a client? And then that's when the witness started breaking up.
Right. Thank you.
Yep.
Mr. Shank,
'Cause
can you
she's a
respond to that question?
She's a salesperson. That's what
Absolutely.
they do.
Yeah. So obviously I recommend the plastic patio furniture because of the fact that it's not going to deeply scratch the deck. But also I recommend for people that use like the metal furniture, they can get plastic caps and put them at the bottom of the table and chairs. And then that will definitely be a smarter move for them.
Miss Burley, any other questions?
I just don't understand the reasoning of suggesting plastic furniture when all outside furniture is wrought iron. I mean, it's aesthetically more,
I think he
looks
already answered
better.
that question,
Yeah,
ma'am.
asked it.
It seems like it's just getting argumentative with them about whether.
So the furniture in my house, I have little caps on the bottom of it. It's like it slides easy and I can clean and it doesn't scratch. So yeah, I have little caps under my furniture.
That's a smart thing to recommend.
Okay. Then I have no further questions.
Okay. All right, are we done then, Attorney Rush, or did you have any follow-up on those few questions?
No, Your Honor, I don't believe I have any follow-up on those questions.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Shank. I appreciate the testimony today. I hope you have a good rest of your day.
I hope he got some good jello out of it.
I'm not sure if he's still there or not, but we'll move on. Attorney Rush, who did you want to call next?
Your Honor, I don't believe I have any other further testimony on whether, well, I guess I could call, I think based on some of the other questions asked, I guess I would recall Russ Snyder, the general manager.
Do you want us to let go of the Kyle that's in the waiting room?
I had asked him to be here because he was on our witness list, and if there were any future...
That's fine. I'm just wondering, do you want to leave him in the waiting room in case you're going to call him, or do you want to let him go?
I would like to leave him in there.
When I was like 11 or 12, I bought my mom for Mother's Day one of those mats that you put your office chair on so you can roll around easy. Okay? I was young. I didn't know. But where she had it was hardwood floors. So she put the mat down because I bought it for her, so she was going to use it. And she put her chair on it. And then, like, I don't know, a while later, we pulled the mat up so that we could mop. And the mat had put all these little divots in my mom's hardwood floor. But then my sister burnt the house down, so we had to replace the hardwood floor, so it's fine.
Okay. Mr. Snyder, it sounds like we need some testimony from you. Could you raise your right hand, please? I'll put you under oath. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Go ahead, counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor. So, Mr. Snyder, we did talk about your name and occupation and all that the last time we were here. So I'm just going to jump straight to some of the specific questions or specific topics that we've talked about today. So as general manager for Revamp, do you instruct your salespersons to tell customers that the deck will not scratch?
I do not.
Okay. And what do you instruct the salespersons to tell potential customers about the deck?
I don't personally instruct the sales team. We have a sales instructor for that, but I have been present at some of the trainings for those, and they are simply told about the maintenance-free issues, the lack of having to paint, stain, the fact that the material does not rot, it does not warp. Nothing's ever really mentioned about scratching that I've ever been a witness of.
Okay. And these are standard warranties that you tell all of your salespeople to talk about?
Correct. Yeah, we definitely don't warranty against scratches.
For the reporter, could you repeat your answer, please? I'm sorry, you broke up.
I said that we do not warranty scratching.
Sorry, I still did not get that. I don't know if it's breaking up for anyone else.
Mr. Snyder, it might help if you turn your video off sometimes if there's a poor connection that...
And hear me out, Judge, hear me out, because this is thinking way outside the box. He could pull over. He could pull over so he's not driving while he's testifying and hitting every other cell tower. He could just... I know, crazy.
Fixes it.
Is that better?
I think it will be, yeah. Can you try answering one more time, please?
Okay, that is correct. Warranty against scratching.
I'm sorry, it actually did still break up. Can you try one last time?
I'm
So
just
that is correct.
rereading your first sentence over and over and over. I'm skipping the second sentence, though.
Correct. We do not warranty against scratching.
Okay. Thank you. And then I have no further questions for Mr. Snyder.
excellent
Miss
book.
Burley, you indicated you'd
Outstanding
like to ask
content,
Mr.
Donald.
Snyder some questions. Why don't you go ahead?
Okay, Mr. Schneider,
Yes.
as the general manager, that's correct, of Revamp,
Yes.
is it allowable to have your salespeople, knowing that there are kids and
Miss
questions?
Burley, we lost you there
She
altogether.
said dogs.
Oh.
Come on, figure it out. Dogs.
So I'm not sure at all what you asked. You were right in the middle of asking something, but you just started and then we lost you.
Oh, I wonder. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the last question I have was, is it allowable to have your salespeople, knowing that there are kids, and then you dropped off after that?
Okay, with kids and dogs, pets, and everyday use, to say that this is literally maintenance free for a lifetime, which is what Mr. Shank said repeatedly.
Yes. Maintenance.
You don't even know, Bren. Apparently, they had to come out to her house a couple times to fix stuff that she didn't like.
There's also maintenance with your dog. You have to maintain your dog's nails. You can't let them get overly long or they're going to scratch wood.
Long
I'm
nails,
sorry, I
scratch
can't hear
marks.
you.
Got it.
I think your answer dropped off again. So I don't know if it's just a poor connection.
Here, I'll tell you guys again. Long nails scratch wood. That's what he said. Yeah, I heard him.
Got the first part of your answer, but not the end.
Yes, that is acceptable for them to say that because that doesn't fall under maintenance.
Thank you.
Ma'am, you're muted, so we're not hearing you.
Why would that not qualify as maintenance? That would be maintenance and upkeep to me.
If you have dogs and kids,
Well, that is called a life, and most people have that in their life, yes.
yes, I do as well. I also have a maintenance-free deck that I don't have to paint as in maintenance. I don't have to paint it.
It sounds like he said something after I don't have to paint it, but I think your connection
All I said was I
dropped.
don't have to paint it or I don't have to stain it.
Thank you.
I mean, it's free.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
He said it's maintenance.
He said I don't have to paint it or stain it. It's maintenance free.
Just like me.
That
Any other
is not-
questions?
Well, when I think of maintenance free, that is not what I would say maintenance free totally is. Just no painting or no questions, Your Honor.
Any redirect?
Yes, Your Honor, just brief, I believe. So, Mr. Snyder, we've had a lot of testimony here about what maintenance-free means. Now, do you, when you say maintenance-free, do you qualify what maintenance is not required on this deck?
To my knowledge, they're just instructed the maintenance-free portion is no painting, no staining, nothing of that nature that you would find on a typical wood deck.
Okay, so when Revamp or its salespeople say that the deck is maintenance free, you say that it is maintenance free with respect to those specific items. Is that your testimony?
Correct.
Okay. And do you tell customers that there is no maintenance required ever?
Attorney
far
Rush,
as paint-
I'm not sure where we're going with this because he just testified a little earlier that he doesn't instruct salespeople, he doesn't sell I'm not
No,
understanding why
no.
we're asking him that.
Sure, Your Honor. So Russ is Russ Snyder is the general manager for Revamp. So he is
He
responsible
literally
for.
testified that there's people who instruct the sales reps, that he does not do it.
Right.
So he may be responsible for the whole company, but that doesn't mean he has knowledge to speak about them. So I'm not understanding. He said he doesn't have knowledge on this. I don't understand the point of the questions.
Managers rarely know answers to questions.
And I will withdraw the questions.
Okay. Any other ones?
I do,
No,
Your Honor. Oh, sorry.
Okay. Any other witnesses? Attorney Rush?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Burley, anyone else that you're going to call, or do you want to testify anymore?
No, I do have one or two more questions for Russ, if that's possible.
In follow-up to Attorney Rush's, or you just thought of more? Go ahead. Either way. We got some time.
Russ, it says on the Revamp site that it is maintenance-free, durable, stylish vinyl decking to transform your outdoor space with our vinyl fence and deck.
Your Honor, I would
solutions.
object to this. So we can't see what this says, and that Revamped website wasn't submitted as an exhibit prior to this hearing.
Sounds like rebuttal to me, so I'm okay with it, based on his own testimony that he just gave.
Well, you could clearly look at the site. It's.
Ma'am, I overruled the objection, so just
all right.
finish reading
Okay.
your statement and then ask your question, okay?
Okay. Russ, as the general manager, is it okay for your guys to come and to a job site and act unprofessional in the way that they did on our job site?
I don't understand, ma'am. What does that have to do with the statement you read from the website?
Oh, I thought you said I could not. I couldn't go further.
No, I
with
said
that.
I overruled the objection, so that means you're allowed to read it and ask your question.
Okay,
I'm sorry
so
for not clarifying.
Okay, so first going back, they say that there is some maintenance, but on their website, it clearly states that it is maintenance-free vinyl. And to me, that doesn't match what they're stating.
All right, ma'am. Read the statement on the website again, if you could, please.
I don't think so, Brent. He adores
All right.
her. Adores her.
For maintenance-free vinyl decking and fencing and decks. Then it says that it does not say anything about plastic. It just says vinyl PCV, and it says again it is maintenance free with a lifetime warranty.
You started it by reading some statement. It sounded like you read it right off of there.
Judge Frost is getting a migraine right now.
Is there something you were reading, or were you just summarizing? I'm not following.
Oh, I was just summarizing, but I can.
You read something, you used the word durable, you used some other words. Was that on there, or did you just
Yes,
make
it was on there.
So if you want to read a verbatim statement, please go ahead and say, it says on your website, quote, read it, then end quote, and then ask him if it would say something like that on his website.
Okay. Unfortunately, I can't get back to it.
Mr. Snyder, we heard a statement earlier and it included the word durable. Would you agree that your website describes this composite decking as durable?
Yes, I believe it does.
Okay. And what do you understand that to convey to a customer?
Oh, well, it's a durable product. I mean, no different than, well, I mean, wood's actually durable. It's just got different properties than the PVC. and in fact, in terms of the maintenance that was required for it.
Ma'am, do you have any other questions?
Can I go back to asking a question again about his group of guys that were on our job site, or is that not relevant for this part of it?
It really doesn't go to any issue I can understand, because there's no contract provision that said all of our employees shall act with any certain level of decency or anything like that. So if they're smoking and peeing in your yard and stuff like that, it just wasn't part of the contract.
Is that not part of a professional contract in general for any job contractor?
I think if we got 10 contractors on here to talk about what the normal work site habits of contractors are, I think they would probably say it's pretty not PC and maybe a little rough. So I'm not going to get into that.
Okay, fair. No,
I had to watch them out my window at work here, and it's you see all sorts of stuff. Sure.
And no further questions.
Okay.
I have some questions. So if I had a margarita in one hand and I'm dancing to a Bruno Mars song and on the deck, am I deep scratching it? Is that what I'm doing? Because I wouldn't be able to buy that deck.
All right. Argument. Attorney Rush, what's your request today?
Your Honor, I request that I suppose, we had argument last time on the other claims. I assume this is argument specifically related to the Home Improvement Act claim.
Whatever you want to argue. So that for sure, but if you want to add anything else, you're welcome to.
Sure. So, Your Honor, we've heard testimony. We've heard testimony from Mr. Shank that when he goes to a customer's house, he has a routine. He talks to the customer about what they're looking for in a deck. He answers the customer's questions. He goes over the contract. He shows them examples of the material that they're getting, and accurately answers any questions that they have regarding the material that they're getting from their deck. Miss Spurl testified that she didn't think to ask if the furniture that she had on the deck was okay, and for that reason alone, any claim that Mr. Shank misrepresented that her specific patio furniture wouldn't scratch the deck is waived and should be disregarded. Now, Mr. Shank also testified that he tells customers that the deck is maintenance free as compared to a wood deck, which means that you don't have to stain it. You don't have to refinish it every so often. It won't be destroyed by termites. And that language is all reflected in the contract that Ms. Spurl signed. Mr. Shank also testified that when he creates a contract for a customer, he sits down with them and generally creates it at the time that he meets with the customer, and then sends it to them to review on their own time. And that's reflected by the contract. The contract shows, or the audit trail of the contract shows.
No, I can't just let it go. No, Bren, you would be fine because they have to actually see something.
Shows that Miss Spurl was sent this contract, that she looked over the contract, and that she ultimately signed the contract. And the contract reflects Mr. Shank's testimony that he told Miss Spurl that the warranty of the specific material that she received would be warranted against blistering, chipping, corroding, peeling, rotting or termite damage. Nowhere in the contract that Ms. Sparrow signed does it say that the deck would be impervious to any and all.
No, he didn't.
any and all conduct. Now, Ms. Sparrow testified that Mr. Shank said that the deck would stand up to normal wear and tear. Now, Mr. Shank testified that it would stand up to, everyday, plastic furniture. It would stand up to, people walking around on the deck and, walking from the patio door to the patio stairs to get off the deck, but that it might not stand up, it might not completely be impervious to a dog walking across the deck, and that the dog, may scratch the deck. And in Miss Sparrow's case, as we heard the last time we were here, it appeared that the dog was digging at the deck and was doing more than even simply walking across the deck. There were, serious markings on the deck that indicate that there.
I mean, if the dog was digging on the deck, that's not the deck's fault. The dog was digging on the deck.
Was more than simple wear and tear to the deck. A dog walking around the deck wouldn't create isolated scratches in a single part of the deck. Now, that can't be found to be everyday normal wear and tear. That's something a bit more. Now, prior to today, we heard testimony from Mr. Snyder that Ms. Sparrow signed the contract and that they had a team go out to the job site.
Thank you, Kelly. I know you guys complained about her voice, but this man, Kelly, thank you so much. I'm sorry you had to go through all that. Migraines and inspections, and it never ends.
You heard testimony from Kyle Messer that him and his associates were working on Miss Sparrow's job site. You heard testimony from Miss Sparrow herself that she was presented with a completion form to sign at the end of the completion of her project, that the deck was satisfactorily built, and that there weren't any issues that she could notice at the time at the completion of the project. Now, Ms. Sparrow testified that she later had issues with the deck, and Revamp promptly went to fix those problems. We heard testimony from Russ Snyder that Revamp tried numerous times to go out and fix the problems with the deck, but every time they went back out, there seemed to be new problems that arose. They would fix the deck and they would address Miss Sparrow's complaints, and then they would get another email later stating that there were additional issues with the deck, until eventually Miss Sparrow refused to allow them to come back and inspect. Now, Miss Sparrow refused to let them come back and inspect and fix any of her alleged complaints, and she also refused to pay Revamp for the work that they did on the deck. You heard testimony from Revamp's expert that there were no major issues with the deck when he inspected it, and that any of the issues that Miss Sparrow was identifying were within the parameters of a deck built with vinyl, and some of the issues, like the solar caps coming off, were easily fixed by simply reapplying glue, and that was something that could occur and was covered by the Revamp's warranty. We've heard no testimony other than seeing photos of the deck that don't reflect the same condition of the inspection that was performed by Revamp's expert that there were any issues with the construction or the quality of the materials used in the deck. So for that reason, Your Honor, the court should find that Ms. Spurl must pay the remaining balance on her contract with Revamp, because Revamp came to her house. They represented that she would be
Jude, I promise you, you're going to be satisfied with how Judge Frost handles this. I promise you, it's wonderful.
Exactly what she was receiving is what she got, and they satisfactorily performed under the contract. They built the deck. The deck is still standing. Ms. Spurl agreed when the workers finished the project that the deck was satisfactorily built, and after the deck was built, Ms. Spurl brought up issues that Revamp attempted to fix and remedy, but quite frankly, couldn't identify the same issues that Ms. Spurl continued to have with the deck, even when they went back and they tried to fix the deck, or they looked and they did fix it, but Ms. Spurl would have different issues that, weren't the same issues that, occurred the previous time that they went out to fix the deck. So Revamp performed its obligations under its contract with the Spurls, and therefore are entitled to payment under that contract. Thank you.
Thank you, Kit Kat. Thank you. Thank you.
Ms. Sproul, do you have any argument today?
I do.
Go ahead.
First, I would like to say that it's very obvious that Attorney Rush has not really done his due diligence in looking over all the material. I did sign the contract. Yes, I'm not negating that at all. However, I did call that night that the deck was installed with the concerns, and called again Saturday morning and talked to them then the following Monday of the next week. The job was completed on a Friday evening. So for him to say that I keep adding on problems, these have been all the same problems and concerns from the first 72 hours moving forward. As far as me not letting them come out, yes, they came out. He came out on that following Monday to try and fix things, but he didn't fix. That is why I called back again, and they never tried to come back again. And after all those attempts and me calling several times and my email chain of the same concerns, and for them to come out with the unprofessionalism that they showed and the rudeness, that is why I did not want them to come out any further. And then for their manager or general owner to come to my house and verbally attack and threaten me, I think is even more disconcerting and warrants other stuff. As to why I did not feel that I wanted to continue paying until we took this item to court.
So what are you asking me to do?
Well, I feel that I gave them $10,999. I gave them what they needed for material. What they did for their job, I don't think paying for their service, I don't think I need to do. I have a deck that I didn't feel I got in the manner that it was presented. It is not maintenance free. It is not durable by any means. Everybody in the state of Wisconsin has wrought iron furniture on their patio. more so than plastic furniture. And if that is not going to stand up on a deck, why spend all that kind of money? I asked over and over significantly and never got straight answers, or I was given answers that they wanted me to hear. That's how I feel. So I feel that I do not owe them any other money.
Are you asking for a return of any of the money that you paid?
No, I just want to be over this whole thing.
Okay.
They can keep what they have. I don't want to give them any further
your
money.
Claim that you brought up last time that I allowed the amendment of the 100.20
Yes.
method of competition and trade practice claim allows for recovery of any pecuniary loss. So are you arguing any pecuniary loss, which is a dollar value loss?
Well, then I would say maybe for half of what I paid. I do not.
Would you have entered into the
$5,000.
contract had they told you that it would get scratched by your dogs relatively quickly?
No.
Okay.
And he said that just having the dogs be up there on the deck, they would not be, there would be no problems. However,
I guess I
I don't
object.
know
This
where
is additional testimony.
Attorney Rush got that the dog was
she told me
digging.
that the first hearing date. Okay. So are you saying that you would have paid them $10,000 had they told you that it would get scratched so quickly?
I wouldn't even have gone with I wouldn't have gone with that service. No, I would not have.
Okay.
But
Are you saying that that's your pecuniary loss then? Is that you went with it and paid them $10,000 for something you wouldn't have bought had they told you the truth?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'll make a number of findings today. There were a lot of witnesses I heard from. There was Mr. Snyder, Mr. Nestler, who was the on-site guy managing the work, Eric Sari, an expert, Ms. Spurley, and then Mr. Shank again today. I'll start with Mr. Shank. He was a completely non-credible witness, and what emphasizes that the most is he is relatively quickly into Ms. Spurley's questions of him, which were reasonable questions. He got so combative, and he went from a person who had started by saying, I don't even remember her in this project, to saying she's such a problem, she's always been a problem. And it was so clear that he was biased and wanted to just help his employer's case, that he wasn't being honest with me. And I followed up with some basic questions like, you just said you don't remember her. Did you have problems with her? He did not. When did you hear about problems? Only after the trial date and after I continued it. So his entire testimony was not based on memory and reality. It was based on, I've been told she's a problem, and now I'm going to come and say what I need to. And that was so clear as soon as she started questioning him. He did say, I just don't remember anything she said. I agree with that. He probably doesn't remember it. I've also found him completely non-credible with his little sales pitch, because as soon as I asked any basic questions about, well, what does that mean, a trade-off? He just has lines that he throws out and he can't even explain them. So what's the trade-off to get this better material that costs more? He pretty much said, well, it does all the things. It's got the same things as wood. It just costs more and you don't have to repaint it. And I asked, what's the trade-off? He couldn't give me it. He couldn't explain what the trade-off is other than the maintenance type issue, I guess. But that's not a trade-off. You're paying more for that. You're not trading something. You're buying the benefit of no maintenance. In other words, he just gives sales pitches to get people to buy it. And he was just unbelievable in saying that he would tell people, don't ever have a dog on it. Don't ever have your kids on it. It's going to get scratched. Nobody would buy it if he said that. And it's unbelievable to the extreme. It's also
I have never seen Judge Frost this angry at someone, and he's about to do something. That's crazy. He's about to do something that's absolutely crazy. Emma, how are you?
Consistent with what Miss Burley read from the website saying it's durable, which implies it's going to last better than other products that cost less. So to say, oh, it'll get scratched like wood, but you'd be better off with wood if you're going to worry about scratches, makes absolutely no sense. To call it durable and recommend.
I should prerequisite. Okay, so what we're seeing right now is this company suing her so that she pays them the rest of the money she owes them. She has already paid them $10,000. Okay? They want the rest of their money. So she didn't pay because there are deep scratches in her wood. So they are suing her to get the rest of their money, okay?
And it to somebody who has dogs. When you're out there and you see their dogs, I just don't believe for a second that he said, whoa, I see you got 3 dogs there. This product's going to get scratched to pieces if you let them on it regularly. Completely unbelievable. In fact, it's very believable what Miss Burley said, which is she asked about it over and over. It clearly is a big issue for her. It ended up with her initial filings and presentation not really being the key issue she focused on, but it's one that came out through the pictures of, yes, this really was a problem of, I was told this would be the best one for my dogs, and it turns out it was horrible because it got scratched right away. So I found Miss Burley completely credible. She was consistent in her story throughout. She had a consistent recollection of everything. She confirmed the pictures she took and when it happened, and there were some questions raised about the timing. She was always able to give credible answers that explained how we could tell when they were taken based on some of the things in the background, and it just proved her story to be true. And compared to that, I heard from witnesses like Mr. Snyder, who had no personal experience really with her project till after the fact. He had no instruction involved in teaching and training salespeople. So he earlier on the first day really didn't know what the salespeople are taught or would say because he's not involved in that. And therefore he offered me nothing helpful on that issue. And then there was...
I do have the rest of the trial. If I feel like it and have time, I'll put it up in members only, but I don't think anybody's going to take the time to watch it all.
Confirmation through a variety of witnesses that numerous issues on this deck, after 2 times of visiting it again, were clearly still there in the pictures, and that was not the proper way to leave this deck.
However you think the company is going to lose in your head right now, you're wrong. It's way worse than that. Hold on. Wait till you hear.
And that included that rails were clearly a mess. There was unevenness where there would be one beam going in on one side of a post, and then the other beam on the other side was a half inch to, sometimes it looked closer to an inch off. And there was confirmation that, yes, they should be nearly flush,
every half
if not
inch
flush.
On your deck matters.
That all those caps should have been secured, that there's a variety of things that weren't right, that there were these skirts that weren't proper, there was a hole in one, that they weren't even to the ground, that should not have been left or done that way. So when I hear all of that...
Close, Monica, but you're not going far enough worse. I said it's worse.
It undercuts essentially the testimony of, yeah, we did a great job by Mr. Nestler. No, you didn't, because you left all those obvious things and didn't do it right. So when I add all of that together, Miss Burley was the credible witness. And I do believe you that he told you, oh yes, this will be great for your dogs and your kids. It's going to stand up. It's not going to suffer. I don't think he told you it'll never scratch, but I think he told you and strongly implied it's going to resist any kind of abuse from your kids and your dogs. And
Yes.
that only if it's pretty hard abuse is it going to maybe get some dings. And that you would not have bought it had he been honest about what he said today, which is, it's plastic, it's going to scratch. Of course it's going to scratch. Don't let your dogs on it. And that's really what he said today. Had he told you that, I don't believe for a second you would have entered into this contract, which tells me that he told you the opposite. And therefore, that was a misrepresentation. It was a violation of 100.20, including under ATCP 110.03, or I'm sorry, 02. And there's a couple subsections. One of them is subsection 9, misrepresent or mislead the buyer. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the wrong one. Subsection 9 sub B, fail to make any statement of fact, qualification, or explanation if the omission of such statement, qualification, or explanation causes a statement or representation to be false, deceptive, or misleading. On that one, it goes to he represented it as durable, that this is the best choice for you with your dogs, that it's going to stand up, when in fact that was not true. And his own testimony today said that's absolutely false. And then subsection 11, which is make any false, deceptive, or misleading representation in order to induce any person to enter into a home improvement contract. And that's what happened here. And her pecuniary loss is the money she paid on a contract she otherwise wouldn't have entered into, other than the misrepresentation. So what I have to do is declare that the contract is the result of a misrepresentation, so she owes nothing on it. She's entitled to recover what she paid on it. And 100.20 actually says she should recover twice the amount of that loss. So, ma'am, I am supposed to award you $20,000. Actually, you paid $10,000. It says to give you twice that, along with costs.
You doubled it.
So,
Along with
did you have
costs.
court costs? You didn't file the lawsuit, so you didn't have a filing fee or service fees.
No, I did not.
Okay. And then I'm denying all of plaintiff's claims because it was a contract they're not allowed to enforce against her.
Thank you.
All right. Any questions, Attorney Rush? You're muted. I'm sorry.
Not at this time, Your Honor.
Miss Burley, any questions for you?
No, yes, I'm sorry. What happens moving forward then?
I'm going to type up an order and judgment for $20,000 in your favor.
Okay.
And then you have to decide if you want to try to collect on that and either research or talk to a lawyer about how to do that.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. I hope all of you have a good day today and a good weekend. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That attorney is not going to have a good day, but that salesman is going to have a worse day. You think it'll get appealed? She has to try to get her $20,000 now, so that's not going to be a walk in the park. But I think that she has the tenacity to go get that money. I think she's going to go get that money. They were saying from the beginning she didn't want to pay for this deck. And I believe them. I do believe them. But she wasn't asking for any money. Again, they were suing her. She did not countersue them for any money. Him giving her $20,000 came out of left field for her. She was not expecting it. You saw her. She sort of thought for a second there she was going to get $10,000 because that's what she paid them. But then, boom, he doubled it. He goes, well, I got to double it. It says right there in the statute, I got to double it. So there you go, $20,000. If she would have paid them just a little bit more, she's not going to get that money for years if she gets it. All right, that was all I had. But you know what? While we were playing with decks, I got another short clip ready. But I didn't actually watch it, so we're going to watch it together. Hopefully there's no address in it. She did. She paid them $10,000, but she didn't pay them the rest of it.
Joseph Seraphin, 46D03.
I think if they appeal, they still have to pay. Like, she can still go after that money, even if they appeal. And then if they win, they have to get that money back if they pay it before the appeal and they win the appeal.
2512 CM2900.
All right, I have a favor to ask real quick. All right. I'm going to mute something. I just need you to tell me if you can hear this. Ready, set, go.
Sure.
Okay.
Thanks.
Did you hear any of that? Because if they say an address, I have to mute it real quick, but there's two different places, and I don't know which one is the right place. Okay. All right, hold on. I'm going to see if you can hear this. Ready, set, go.
All right, take care. All right.
Did you hear that? Okay. Okay. All right, one more try. I'm going to mute both of them. Ready, set, go. Hold on, nothing's going on. Of course, there's no sound. Hold on, hold on. We have a different judge, by the way. I've never seen this judge before. Oh, you can hear them now? No.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. So we're here today for the entry.
Okay, you should not have been able to hear. Gentlemen, we're here today for the hi, JK. I think I have to just mute them both. I'm just gonna mute one. Here we go.
Pre-trial deferral agreement, and there is a person that wants to make a statement. Is that correct? Mr. Ray? Oh, Kevin Spence. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, your name, sir? Nice to hear. Kevin Spence. You can come up here, that's fine. I want to make sure I can hear you. Yeah. Hey, what's your name, sir?
My name is Kevin Spence, 3855 West Johnson Road, LaPorte, Indiana. 51-year resident of LaPorte.
There was an address. Oh well.
30 years, been here my entire life. You asked why am I here? According to,
as you know, sir, I'm not a regular judge.
I know you're not. I know you understand the police report, what was in it, and you know.
Well, let's start with this. Mr. Nagus, what's a Shellman being charged with, the defendant?
All right, so I'll give you the scene of an accident, which I believe was part of the home fence of the Mr. Spence.
Thank you so much.
Is that correct,
Cheers,
sir?
Monica. Thank you.
You may, sir. Sure.
I just want a couple of props here. That's the fence that was damaged, the marble fence, and then the second fence, the wooden fence that he also went through.
All right.
So I would just like the opportunity not to change the outcome, because I understand that you guys already made the agreement.
I'm not part of the agreement. This is between the state and the defendant pursuant to the Indiana statute.
Okay.
So it's not me, sir.
So I'm more frustrated with the process and how we got here. I just wanted to be able to explain to the court for record what actually occurred, to my understanding, based on the evidence that was left in the property. On the night of Thanksgiving night, it was 12:30 a.m. I received a call from my son, which lives up in the guest house up in front of my property. He said the police were out front and someone's taken out the wall. So I went out there and talked to the officer. What's important to point out here is in the police report from Officer Landry, on multiple occasions, Joseph lied to not only the dispatch, but he lied to the police as to his whereabouts and what had happened that night. The only reason that he was caught was the fact that Officer Landry, after Joseph hung up on the police, he was able to, whatever he does, to find his address. And then he ended up going there, finding the vehicle that damaged the wall, and fill out the report. Meanwhile, after I had talked to the officer that evening, my understanding of what happened, he was eastbound on Johnson Road, crashed into the wall, and then the neighbors across the street, Mr. Ben Ray, I had talked to him the next day. They were up at night, 12:30, looked out their window, and Joseph was on, if you look at that marble wall, there's a 2-foot square concrete pier. To the best of my knowledge, he was back and forth for 2 to 3 minutes trying to get dislodged, according to eyewitnesses. Once he did become dislodged, he crossed over Johnson Road, took out the neighbor's mailbox, bajaed through their yard, proceeded on to Johnson Road, and then went down my embankment into my sheep pasture, went bajaed out to the sheep pasture. He couldn't find an exit because it looked like you can see the tracks and all the same evidence that was at the scene of the marble wall was at the top of my pasture. So it was definitely And the hydraulic fluid, whatever was leaking, was out there. And then he exited the same place he came in. Again, it was like a 3-foot drop off. So I'm not sure how he did all that. And it wasn't until the next day that I found out through social media that his mom had texted me at 6:21 p.m. on that following Friday. Hi, Ron, I saw your post. It was my 19-year-old son who fell asleep at the wheel and hit your fence. He called the police when it happened and filed a report. So there's another lie, because he didn't file the report. The police caught him. So, you know, I have 3 boys too. I'm glad that everyone deserves a second chance. And I just feel that he hasn't apologized, nothing. His insurance isn't the greatest. It's a mark.
He didn't say sorry to me, Judge. Judge, he didn't say I'm sorry. All right, Brad, I'm going to right now. It's not a video though, right? Because I can't play a video right now, but I'll check.
The only marble wall on the board he had it, and he did it. So I'm trying to put the pieces back together. My homeowner's insurance has to do it. Now my rates go up. I was asleep at 12:30 at night the day after Thanksgiving. And here I'm paying the consequences in the aftermath, and I don't feel lessons are learned. So I thought, at a minimum, and I preached to my boys too, but at a minimum, bring it back in here, explain my side of the story. And I'm glad you didn't get hurt. You could have killed yourself or someone else. And you deserve a second chance. I just, it's frustrating. I'm trying to get things put back together, and I have to look at it for the last 6 months. It's frustrating. So that's all I wanted to say. I didn't want you to get in trouble. I just felt that you should have done a better job and at least own your mistake. You know, you fell asleep, all right. Do the right thing and maybe come back the next day and apologize and maybe hey, offer to help clean up the mess or something. Just don't run any nights, because in life that gets you nowhere.
Yeah, I appreciate. Thank you, sir. Is this all a family estate?
It is.
All right, very nice property.
Yeah.
All right, well, sir, thank you for coming here, and you're very gracious considering what you went through. And thank God it wasn't worse. And thank you for your presentation. I know sometimes the legal process can be frustrating to people that aren't lawyers. I totally, I get it. I have been the others too that aren't lawyers, and they have the complaints. So basically, this is an agreement between the state and the defense, and it sounds like it's what we call pre-trial deferral, where this gentleman is going to have this hanging over his head. And should he violate with any type of other offense, the prosecutor can reactivate this case and continue prosecution. I don't know if any of that's been explained to you or not.
No, but I understand what you're saying.
Okay, so he's not out of the proverbial woods yet.
Yeah.
And as a parent myself, I understand your concern, safety of kids and kids making mistakes. Young man, your attorney has done a remarkable job for you. And for what it's worth, and I'm not here to browbeat you, but I can tell you, I just had a similar case in another county where my client went off the road on New Year's Eve and his girlfriend's paralyzed now. He just went to prison. And these things have consequences. Thank God, by the grace of God, I'm not saying you were there, you weren't there, but no one got hurt. And you don't know how lucky you are that you're not in shackles being a guest of the Department of Corrections in our state. So I hope you take this moment to take this gentleman's grace and his forgiveness and recognize how lucky you are, because you're quite lucky. So it's just
He sounded very, very forgiving, didn't he?
6-month or a 12-month deferral.
It's not my case on that. I believe it's due to dismissal in September, so I believe it is a 6 month.
6 months? Sir, you have 6 months. And I have no doubt that if you mess up, that this prosecutor's office is going to prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law. I don't speak for them, but that's just my gut instinct, okay? So be careful how you drive, who you hang with, who you let drive your car if you have one. And hopefully this case will get dismissed after the 6 months and you go on about your life with no more of these mistakes, okay?
Sure.
All right. Mr. Spence, thank you very much.
Your Honor, I don't want to prolong this hearing, but I would like to make just a couple of statements. I appreciate Mr. Spence's presentation here today. I appreciate what he said. A couple of things that I just want to put on the record. Number one, as he not so like told my client to not apologize, to not contact anybody, to not reach out and not pay permission. So that's one explanation for that. Secondarily, I do want to memorialize, not that it's my position to speak for the state, but I know that one of Mr. Spence's concerns is insurance coverage and all those things. The state had to be persuaded to give him pre-trial diversion because one of the things under Indiana law, according to Update versus State 699 Northeast 2nd 723, yeah, what this 1998 is the case.
I'm familiar with the case.
Directly on point that says restitution cannot be imposed by a court on the same charge. So the state recognizing that, again, I'm not speaking for them, I assume had they had the opportunity and ability to get restitution, may not directly file here. But otherwise, my findings of an 8-year-old is true. And under those circumstances, again, not speaking for the state, to me, it seemed like a reasonable. And we did it. They worked hard. They didn't immediately get it. I had to do persuasive work. And here we sit, but I do appreciate your position. I understand how frustrating this whole thing is. And certainly my client, I did discuss, and I'm going to speak for him. He's always been willing to apologize. He was a 19-year-old and freaked out and did the wrong thing for sure. He knows that. He knows that he's fortunate. But that's where it stands. So
Well, I hope your client understands that Shellman's insurance company can still sue him. And that's what we call subrogation. So
yeah.
I'm not giving you advice, but this gentleman's insurance company can still drag you into court and civil court and sue you. Okay. I don't speak for them, I don't know if they will, but that's a potential. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for your understanding. So,
And they probably will. The insurance company probably will. They're not just going to give away money. They like to take money, not give money. All right, guys, we made it. Today was way different than yesterday's stream, wasn't it? I don't know. It wasn't for me. My mind was with the decks, and never mind. It doesn't matter. You guys have a great day. Today is no freaking idea. Monday. Today's Monday, guys. Ugh. Monday sucks, but I don't know. Maybe I'll do a members only later if I can. I don't know if I can, so don't count on it. But don't be surprised, you know, if I'm having a crappy Monday. We'll just do a members only so we can forget about everything. But I don't know if I can. We'll see. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye, guys.
Well, I thought I'd write a happy song. I found a chat room where I belong. You don't know how much it means to me. With such a groove, I'm less lonely. Oh, Kathy's the creator. She's leading the way. At Court Vibes, we laugh and we stay. Her smile shines bright. She's got that grace. Come join the fun. It's a welcome and play. I can count on distraction from my pain, 'cause this creator takes you there and back again. Kathy is the heart here, always in stride. Her work is hard, but her joy she can't hide. Oh, Kathy's the creator, she's leading the way. At Court Vibes, we laugh and we stay. Her style is classy, she's always top shelf. Don't take my word, come and see for yourself. Her cases are new with a twist or two. I really like them, I believe you will too. A little lifeline passed along in rhyme. Why don't you join us? It's a guaranteed good time.